All right, hello everyone. We're here in Toronto in the Court of Appeal building, is it?
That's right.
Okay. And today we're in the hearing for the CHP case, which is CHP versus Hamilton, in which ARPA Canada is an intervener. I'm here with John and Joel, who spent the day also listening to the arguments that were being made by those involved in the case, but they also had opportunity. John had opportunity to give oral arguments today as well for 15 minutes. John, you want to give a bit of a summary of what took place today? Maybe start with what the case is about and then kind of what took place today.
Sure. So the Christian Heritage Party tried to run an ad on Hamilton's transit system, so this would be on like the side of a bus stop, a bus shelter, that said woman, an adult female, and then Christian Heritage Party standing for truth and justice in Canadian politics, with the CHP's website on there. And the city said, in short, you're not allowed to run this, and they gave some reasons. And the city's kind of given different sets of reasons over time for why that is, but essentially it's, we find this ad to be discriminatory, to deny the dignity of transgender persons, to deny that transgender women are women, and then they suggest that that might also promote discriminatory conduct and harm towards transgender persons.
So what, so obviously today is an opportunity for those who gave those who submitted factums, written submissions were already given a couple of months ago, presumably. So the courts had opportunity to read those today. Everyone gave their oral arguments. How does that change the case?
Yeah. So you'll hear some people say 80 to 90% of advocacy is done before anyone steps in the courtroom. There has been a lot of arguments in writing. Just last week we were filing kind of our last bits of cases. You kind of put together a collection of things for the court that are kind of the key passages from the key cases, maybe the key bits of evidence they're going to take them to in the hearing, and that has a persuasive role as well. But yeah, today we're trying to identify what are the kind of the last and key issues that the court is wrestling with that might kind of turn it one way or another. And I think a kind of highlight of today was, what does discriminatory mean, right? They say you deny that transgender women are women implicitly in an ad like this, even though it doesn't say anything directly about transgender women, and they say that's discriminatory. And ARPA's response was, discriminatory how, right? Discriminatory in a colloquial sense, discriminatory as a matter of your kind of normative evaluation of it. That can't be the standard for limiting freedom of expression in a free democratic society. It has to be discrimination in law, right? And there are provisions in law that limit speech, such as if you have an advertisement that says, you're only going to hire people of a certain race, or you have an advertisement that actually tries to incite other people to, let's say, deny housing to a certain group. These are things that are, it's speech, but it's speech contrary to the Human Rights Code. That would be discriminatory speech. And we say that the city has pointed to nothing in law or even municipal policy that the ad breaches. They just say kind of full stop, this is discriminatory, and it can be censored on that basis. And we find that quite troubling as not a legal justification for restricting freedom of speech.
Joel, you had opportunity to sit second chair today. What were your observations? Just obviously you didn't get a chance to speak, but how do you think the day went? And what, obviously we don't want to make speculation about the outcome, but
right.
Are we optimistic? Are there concerns about where this is going? Thoughts on that?
I think that ultimately the lawyer for CHP did quite well presenting the key issues. And I think that one of the points that John emphasized was, I think, going to be a key issue for the judges in that case, which is the issue of what counts as discrimination. Are we going to create a very loose definition of discrimination where anything can count as discrimination, and then that gives the municipality a justification to censor pretty much anything, or are we going to impose a stricter standard? And so that I think that's something that the courts are going to have to wrestle with.
All right. Well, thanks to you also as ARPA supporters and donors for paying attention to these cases. It's also your support, both financial and through your prayers, that give us the opportunity to be in a place like this. So thanks to you as well.